Well, they have stats. I agree. We all question it. And he says, we have. They showed me the surveys. Okay. If you want to be believable, then say we have 90%. Whatever you want to. But all I'm saying is quantify it. You follow? Okay.
I mean, seriously, when somebody says that, I would think, I want to be the one that's not happy. At the end of this thing, my goal is to be the one that's not happy.
Okay, I love Doug. Doug's going to find a way to make him not happy. This is great. All right, so the point here is you have hundreds of conversations with customers. You could build your brand by just telling them some feature about it, okay? You can say it in 5 seconds or less. That's the why buy. Okay, now we're through with this sheet. Okay, now we're going to talk about the rifle versus the shotgun. Okay, anybody in weapons? This is the shotgun approach. This is the rifle approach. What I'm going to share with you is how to use the rifle marketing methodology instead of the shotgun. I'm going to draw a graph over here. This is percent growth per year. So 2%, 10%, 20%. All right? If you are in a 2% growth industry, but you want to grow your financials at 20%, where do you get the 18% from? The industry is only growing 2%, so where do you get this 18% from? Yeah, you have to go out and get market share. How do you do that? You target, yeah, you're getting to my rifle approach. Good job. Excellent. You have to send a team out, right, and try to convince them that you have a better benefit package, right, than the competitor, right? So it's an expensive proposition to go get market share. You agree? If you're in a 10% growth industry and you want to grow at 10%, you can be in the noise. You can just get customers from the growing industry. Okay, now, give me some business segments that you folks serve. Some business segments. What? Okay, healthcare. Financial. Huh? Okay, university. Somebody's in construction. Government. Construction, somebody's in construction. What else? Huh? Okay, aero. E-R-O, aero. Defense. What somebody else had?
Retail, probably.
Yeah, retail. Okay, you're in the retail fun times, right? Any other industries? Huh? Auto. All right. So tell me, on this list, which do you think is growing the fastest right now? Yeah, that's old baby boomers, man. We are filling the hospitals. We want spare parts. You know, we got new spare parts we can put on. We're good for another 10, 20 years. Okay, government. Let's take construction because I know it. What are some segments within the construction industry? Huh? Okay, we'll call that residential, commercial, industrial, government. We could even put healthcare down here, right? There's some new alternatives like solar and so forth and so on, right? Okay, every one of those industries growing at the same rate? No, they aren't. Okay, it's really easy to go online now and find out the growth rate of these segments. So I'm going to give you a formula. Here's the formula. The growth rate of a segment, so find out what each one of these segments are growing, times your gross margin, or if you can do contribution margin of what you get from that client. Because, for instance, government may be growing great, but you only get a 5% margin on that one, whereas in residential, it's growing and I have a 20% margin. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you multiply the growth rate of the industry by the margin percent. Okay, you got percent times percent. Then what you do is make a list of the different segments. What are these segments right there on your list? These are your high value opportunities. Market to those. Okay? Now, I was speaking in New York City, and I had a guy come up to me and say, hey, Dale, I did this analysis 3 years ago. I'm in a 2% growth industry. I found a segment that was growing at 200%. I took my marketing and PR dollars and put it into that segment. I've been growing at 150% for the last 3 years because he identified the high growth, high value segments, focused his marketing in a rifle approach rather than I'm going to advertise to all of these segments. Does that make sense? Everybody has a demographic. Everybody has some kind of segmentation to their business. Yes?
That's growth rate times your margin, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, the reason the margin there, that's the quality, right?
Time, not divide.
No, it's times. So you take, this segment's growing at 20% and I get a 35% margin. This one's growing at 30%, but I only get a 2% margin. That's 60 versus, you see the difference. You want to get the ones, that's why I'm doing the both. If you just go after the growth rate, you could go after a high growth rate industry that's getting no margin. So you want to get your high value margin times your growth rate. And then focus your marketing effort on these high value segments. That's called the rifle versus the shotgun approach. Okay, it must be my shoulder. I'm still recovering after a year. All right. Okay. Now, I'm going to save 10 minutes. What time do we end? 11:30? Okay. It'll take me 10 minutes to give you my top 7 ways to increase the value of your business and profits. So we're going to turn that off. And we're going to go to this sheet that's been patiently waiting over here. And probably don't want to put it on there. So I'll put it here, and then if I have to use a board. Okay. Who said value other than EBITDA? Did we give you enough other ways that you can get a valuation other than just EBITDA?
Yes, but I was more talking about things that, I guess in the sense of the synergies probably then, yeah.
So we talked about the synergy, right? That you want to take your, whatever you've got on your cash flow, and if you're going to buy a strategic partner, you want to add in those synergistic benefits and then run the discounted cash flow and then share those. I typically try to get 50% of those so that I don't give them all to the person that's buying. Okay, are you good on that? All right. Okay. The number of customers versus quality of customers. Who gave me that one? Someone over here. Yeah, so in our 80-20, we can determine who our high value customers is from both a volume number as well as a margin number. And so to me, your high value customers are a gold mine. You can mine them and get all kinds of benefit out of them, okay? So the quality of the customer, if you're talking about that kind of goes to the 80-20 too. If you have a customer that's huge volume and gives you 80% of your problems, it's time to divorce that, possibly. I would do an analysis of a loaded cost, so not just the margin, but how much time am I spending on that customer, and then figure out my margin at the bottom. And you may have to...
Customer give you lots of risk though, from increase your discount rate?
Yes, if you have 30 or 40% of your business on my company risk, it's customer diversification, there's a thing there. And if you have somebody that's over 25% or 50%, it doubles your risk factor on that.